Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shakha and I welcome you to my video. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about how it is, I think most things, I mean, I don't know about everything, but most things that I've been trying out in my life, they get better and they get easier as time goes on and the more I do them. So, for the longest time, I wanted to be a writer. And you guys probably know this if you know anything about me, is that I wanted to be a writer. I was writing a lot, but in my mind, a writer is published. And so I was not published, not even on Kindle because I was too afraid. And so I was not truly a writer in my head. I wrote a lot. Sometimes I didn't write anything. Sometimes I wrote a lot, depending on my mood. And I didn't publish anything, right, for the longest time. And then last year, I decided to do the November NaNoWriMo, which is like the National Novel Writing Month in November. So you write a novel in a month. You write 1,667 words each day for 30 days, and that amounts to 50,000 words in 1 month, which is kind of the length of an average novel, right? And so I decided, I was like, let me do it. There's nothing stopping me. It was last year, I believe, or the year before. No, the year before, in 2016. And so I decided, okay, let me just do it. Let me try it. It's no big deal. If I don't finish, it's not a big deal. I just have to start, right? And so for the first couple of days, I wrote about 1,667 words every single day, and it was hard. It's really hard. I get up every morning and I'm like, okay, the first thing I'm going to do is write these words so that if I can get them out of the way, then I don't have to think about it and I don't have to worry about it and I don't have to, force myself to do it. I don't have to use my willpower. I can just sit down, automate it, just do it. Don't think about it, just do it. And so that would be my mornings every single day. I get up. So November was kind of hard because I'd get up every morning and I hate myself because I'd be like, I don't want to do this. Why do I have to do this? Blah, blah, blah. I hate it. I hate it. Why do I have to write so many words? Can I just write 10 words? Can I just write 100 words? Like, so I went through all that, and eventually, though, I noticed after a week of kind of constantly doing it, it became easier. The words kind of started flowing, and I started doing them easier. I started writing them out easier. It wasn't as hard as it was before, and I noticed that the more I did it, the more consistent I became with it. So like when I get up in the morning, eventually by the end of it, I just automatically go to my laptop and write my words automatically. There was no thinking about it. There was no arguing with myself. There's no talking to myself. There's no convincing myself. It was very automated. I went, I did my words, and boom, I was done. And then I'd go on with the rest of my day. I wouldn't even think about it. I wouldn't make a drama out of it. It was just there. I had to do it. I did it. And so I did complete the novel in 30 days. And I thought to myself, is it as simple as that? Is it just that? Is it just that I need to sit down every single day and write a few words? Is it that simple? And so I was like, okay, let me test it out. I don't have to write 1,667 words. I mean, that's a lot for every single day. But I was like, okay, how about I start with 500 words every single day? So after that, I was like, I'm not going to stop the streak. I've been writing every single day. I don't want to lose the streak. Let me just keep on going, but with fewer words. So I finished that novel and I started a new one with 500 words every single day, right? I noticed that 500 words wasn't enough. Like I would usually, and the more I did it, the faster I became. But usually I'd be able to finish 1,000 words in about 45 minutes, right? Every morning. And so I started doing that. Every morning I'd get up and I started writing 1,000 words. And I've been doing that now for 2 years now, since November 2016. So almost 2 years now. Every single day. I mean, there have been a couple of days here or there that I've missed, but almost every single day. I would say maybe in the 2 years or a year and a half, I've missed maybe 10 days, which is actually really good for a person who never wrote before consistently, right? But I noticed that two things. I noticed, first of all, the more I keep on building my streak, the more I write every single day. I get up, I write, get up, I write, get up, I write. The more I automate it, the easier it becomes. Really, some days I'll get up and the words will just flow, and I'll finish my words in 20 minutes, and I'll be like, whoa, am I already done? Some days I'll get up, it's a little bit harder, but I'll still finish them in about 45 minutes, right? And so I get them out every single day. The more I do it, the more I build my streak, the easier it becomes, the easier it is, right? But I noticed that if I miss a day, right, and it happens when I'm traveling, or I'm tired, or I'm grumpy, or I'm PMSing, or whatever it might be, I have a billion excuses in my wallet. So I'll make up an excuse of like, no, I don't want to do it today. I can just skip a day. I've been good, So I'll skip a day and I won't do it for a day. And then the next day when I sit down to write, it's so hard. I mean, it's like pulling teeth, worse than pulling teeth. I sit there and I think to myself, this is impossible. How did I do this before? I can't do it anymore. I can't. I'm not going to be able to do this again. And so all over again, I have to relearn the process of writing 1,000 words every morning. Even just by skipping one day, I've kind of ruined a lot of that progress that I made. Now, that's one of the reasons people tell you don't skip a day. Don't skip a day. Do as little as possible in a day, even if you don't feel like it, but don't skip a day. So now what I've started doing is on those days that I hate my life and I don't want to write anything, I'll just write 50 or 100 words. I'll write something. I'll start the process of it. And usually what happens is, I'll start with, I'm just going to write 50 words. That's it. Just 50 words, easy, just nonsense, it's fine. And I start, and eventually, as I go on, I get into it and I get excited about my story that I'm writing, I'll finish 1,000 words and I'll think to myself, oh, I'm done. Okay, cool, great. And so that's what I try to do every single time. And mostly, as I said, besides the 10 days that I skipped, I've been doing this consistently. And I notice, as I said, it's easier the more I do it consistently. It's harder as soon as I skip a day or two. Right? I try not to skip more than 2 days, actually. I don't think I've skipped more than 2 days in a row in the past few couple of years, because I know that if I skip a day, then I have to add that on, or I have to tack that 1,000 words on to the next day. It's not like I skip a day, because if I don't write 1,000 words today, it means I have to write 2,000 words tomorrow in order to catch up. And I know how hard that can be. So I usually try not to skip. I'm like, oh, it's easier just to write 1,000 words right now, even if it's nonsense, even if it makes no sense, even if my story is going into all of these meandering directions where I'm like, what am I writing? Who is writing this stuff? Even then, I think to myself, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to write it. I'm just going to do it. Just get it out on paper. You can edit later. Just get it out on paper, right? And so I've kind of been applying the same kind of rule into every other thing that I've been doing in my life, everything else that I want to master, everything else that I want to bring more of in my life. So same thing with these videos. You guys know that I do a video every single day. I try to do a video every single day. I don't skip many days because I love doing these videos. But even today, I was just standing there and, I set up everything. My laptop is set up. My webcam is set up. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, ooh, my hair looks really crappy today. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should just skip today. I don't need to do a video every single day. And my hair doesn't look that good. Like, maybe I should just skip today. Yeah, it's not really useful. I have nothing to say. What am I going to talk about? What is this video going to be about, right? And so I was thinking to myself, you're just making excuses right now, right? You're just making excuses because you don't want to do the work, because you'd rather just sit around and watch Netflix anyways, right? It's so much easier to do that. No matter how guilty I feel after, no matter how much shame I feel, no matter how crappy I feel after because I wasted my time not doing the things I really want to do. Right? I'm doing things, watching other people live their lives, right? And so as soon as I get that feeling of like, I don't want to do this, I'll just kind of start. I'll just switch it on. I'll be like, okay, I'm nothing to say. But instantaneously, as I've been doing this constantly for the last year now, I think, as soon as I switch it on, I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, hey guys, how are you doing? I hope that you're doing well, wherever you're at. And as soon as I start that, words just flow, and it just comes to me, whatever I want to say. Some topic will pop up in my mind that I've been ruminating about, self-reflecting about, and I'll just be like, let me share that with you guys, right? So it happens automatically. But it only happens automatically if I stick with it consistently. And I know if I skip a few days, I try not to, as I said, but I know if I skip a day or two, or more than that, I know I'm going to lose that track record. I'm going to lose that practice I've built into me. It's like when you are running consistently, right? The more you run, the easier it gets, right? You run every single day and you get up and it's automatic. You just get up, put on your shoes, go run. Get up, put on your shoes, go run, right? And so it becomes automatic. But if you skip a day or two, or a week, heaven forbid, then all of that streak, all that practice, all of your muscle memory that you've built is all gone, right? It's all gone. And I think these kind of things like writing and creative work has muscle memory as well. Maybe neuron memory or whatever you want to call it, but it has muscle memory. So the more you do it, the more you build that muscle, the better it is, the easier it is for you to do it. And the more you skip it, the harder it gets for you to come back to it. That's why when you're working out, it's better to just keep on with it. Even if you're doing a crappy job of it, just keep on doing it. Not to skip a day, not to skip even, and definitely not skip a week, right? So as I said, I try not to skip. If I skip a day, all right, cool, that's fine. You skipped a day, it's okay. You can get back on track tomorrow. If I skip 2 days, then I'm in big trouble, because that means I have to write 3,000 words the next day. I don't want to do that. So I mostly try to avoid that completely. I don't. I'm just gonna write it. It's fine. It might be crap. It might be just horrible words on paper. They might not make any sense, but at least I got the words out on paper. I can always delete it later. It's the practice of writing every single day that I'm building. The practice of putting myself out there. The practice of seeing a blank page and writing crap on it and being like, oh my god, I have no idea what I'm writing. I don't know what I'm doing in my life, blah, blah, blah. But still being able to do it, right? Okay, I hope this makes sense to you guys. I just really wanted to share this with you guys. I hope that you guys are able to use my strategy to apply to it in your own life, to whatever creative art that you're kind of figuring out, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. I think this is applicable to any kind of practice that we're trying to build into our life. Okay? All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.